The people I've worked with, I worked for a long time. Like me and Danica are really, really comfortable. I'm comfortable with everybody that I shoot with on a regular basis, so we kind of know. I know all the little things about them they don't like. So if they don't like when they turn their head this way, it looks weird. You know, something. Everybody's got their ticks. But now I've gotten to the point where I've done it so much with the people that I'm familiar with. Now, when I have somebody fly in from another state for a day and I'm working with them, it's pretty easy for me to fall in mode. And you know why? With fashion and beauty stuff, it's a little harder, but I've told everybody this story, but you guys haven't heard it. I had this guy over. He was an R&B singer, and he had no idea how to take a photo. So he's sitting on a stool, and he says, "I don't know what to do." And I said, "Batman or James Bond?" And he said, "What?" I said, "Who are you? Batman or James Bond?" He said, "James Bond." I said, "Okay, what would James Bond do?" And immediately he starts doing stuff like this and kind of, he just became somebody else. And then I wasn't taking a picture of him, I was taking a picture of James Bond. And the pictures looked so much better. He had that confidence, that coolness, everything. I've had cosplayers when they first show up, they'll stand in front of me and say, "Okay, what are we doing?" And I say, "We're not taking your driver's license photo." So it's just getting people comfortable. A lot of people think that if you have an expensive camera and stuff, that's everything. I remember the day I bought my 5D Mark III for $3,500, and I went outside and opened it up and took a picture of, I don't know what it was, a parking lot, and I was like, this picture sucks. I was expecting some Willy Wonka stuff, and it's not. But it does capture all the information. The lens makes sure you capture everything perfectly, and then it's up to you to turn that picture into something. When I see con guys just posting pictures right out of the camera, no. Something's always going to be a little overexposed, underexposed. Something needs to be fixed. And that's a lot of photography is problem solving and creativity, having a damn good idea. So a lot of people kind of skip that stuff and think that it's just the gear that you have it. The key to being a great photographer is not necessarily the gear. It's not the lighting. It's none of that. It's how you talk to people. How do you make them feel? I was a musician for a long time, so I was on stages, so I got used to stage fright, so I got easier for me to talk to people. I did design for a long time where I'd have to be in charge of other people, so I have no problems being, saying, "Here's a plan, let me be the first one to speak and lay it out." But if you haven't done that kind of stuff, you have to, because when I hear everybody's horror stories, and when they tell me a guy was just clicking away, and never said anything. And when the cosplayer, the model, was asking you, "So should I turn now or should I do something?" You're not speaking enough. And I know in the beginning you're nervous and you're just hoping. And I remember I'm really good at just kind of talking over stuff. So in the beginning I would sit there and go, and I've done this a couple times since. I'm not going to act like I don't do it anymore. But I go to take a picture of somebody and it's not, all my pictures are black. The screen's black. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just taking, just light test, just doing this, just doing that. And the whole time I'm thinking, what the hell? I'm panicking. And then finally I look over and I see my shutters at 250 or above. And with your flash, on a Canon, you can only go to 200. And then I'm like, oh, let me try that again. Click, oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. And then I delete all the ones that was just a black screen because the shutter was too fast for the flash. So you get a lot of that stuff. So being able to talk to people, make them feel easy, comfortable, boosting their confidence up. Don't expect them just to show up and perform and just vogue. And I always tell everybody off the bat, I don't expect you to vogue. I am going to move my lights around to where I think it's going to work to match the scene we're talking about. Sometimes they have an idea. Sometimes they just say, sunset behind me. I want to be on a cliff. I want to be on a building. I want to be, throwing a car. But I'll move my lights where I think they should go. And then I'll say, all right, I'm going to take a couple pictures, light test, and then I'm going to adjust the lights. Once I get the lights where they are, you're going to look perfect no matter what you do. So don't even worry about it. And then just kind of show them on the back of the camera. When I see guys that don't do that, it makes me mad. And kind of, build their confidence up. Show them, hey, you thought that, I know you feel like a dork and that felt goofy, but look at the back of the camera. Look how cool that looks. I always, and one of the benefits of shooting in a studio is I always, after a shoot, come sit down at the computer, and they go through Lightroom and they choose the pictures they want to use, or that they want me to edit. Some people, they're not sure, and I say do it anyway, because you know why? They're not going to choose the pictures they hate. And I always tell them there's two reasons I do this. One, I do not want to work on a picture for 8 to 16 hours that you hated from the beginning. They know right off the bat. They know their faces. They know if their eyelash or their makeup's messed up. They know if something about it they don't like. If I was shooting at a con, I wouldn't post a picture, and that is the cosplayer's biggest complaint when it comes to shooting at a convention, is somebody posting a picture without them approving it first. And if you really care about cosplayers and you're like, oh, I just want to take pictures of cosplayers and help them out and all that stuff, then you never do that. You'll send it to them in an email and say, here's a proof. What do you think? If they want to adjust something, or, maybe they got makeup on their hat and, some kind of little smudge or something. But never post it up there without them seeing it first. Not for the public, because somebody else can download it and spread it all over Reddit or somewhere else, and it's on the internet forever. And they hate it to begin with. So yes, that's my first thing. The other thing is it shows them I am not some pervert zoomed in on their boobs the whole time, or trying to shoot, upskirt shots or something. Because when you're doing this stuff, we shoot a lot of sexy stuff, and trust is number one. Everybody I work with, I want them to trust me. I want them to feel confidence and comfortable. And if they don't trust me, there's a fine line between somebody dressed, sexy, and when they see me, they see a blank space. They see me looking at shapes. Might be the shape of their body, might be how their elbow's sticking out, how the lighting's hitting their face. They do not see me going boobs. If they saw that, it's like Adam and Eve when somebody goes, you're naked, and they're like, ah. So I never want them thinking about that kind of thing. It's always about what's the goal, how do we make the pose cool, and making them feel comfortable. So if I was at a con, like I said, if you can't show them the pictures on the back of the camera and say, okay, which ones do you want, and make sure you either rate them right there on your camera or delete the ones they hate. I've seen guys that go to a con and they'll post every picture they take, which tells me they don't know what a good picture is. Because I could shoot, 100 pictures, and somebody go through them and they choose 50. And then I'd say, okay, let's, give them a 4-star in Lightroom. Now go view them by 4-star. They go through and rate that. They'll probably find some, because as you slowly break them down and you're choosing pictures, the better ones keep rising to the top. So even by the time you're down to 5 pictures, there's still one that just got that, makes you double take. So anyway, in the next video, I'll talk about lighting and, some more cool stuff. So we'll see how this goes. And if anything, it's nice to be able to get stuff out there. People ask me questions all the time. So for some of you guys, it might be kind of neat to know the behind the scenes, and the rest of you that are wanting to know stuff or beginners, we'll talk about that. And then we'll move up there maybe to advanced stuff. Cool.